Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Swaggery, I am playing Sinkhole Delver. Sinkhole is one of these old-time favorite cards. Any MTG boomer has fond memories of Sinkhole, whether it's getting obliterated by it at the kitchen table or getting second place in the first ever Legacy Grand Prix. Shout out Chris Piccola for that. 2 mana, destroy target land, insane rate. Even at the time, 3 mana was the going rate for it, and Sinkhole was the one that got under that. These days, this effect costs 4 or 5. They don't build them like this anymore, probably with good reason. The original idea for this deck was Mercurial Spelldancer, throw in multiple copies of Sinkhole around, but with the omnipresence of Orcish Bowmaster, this 2/1 creature that takes multiple turns and a successful combat step to do its thing became kind of dubious. We're still rocking 1, still hoping to do it once, but had to back off of that quite a bit. 4 Wasteland in the deck, 4 Days in the deck. Founding the third path. Chapter 1, you cast a 1 or 2 mana spell from your hand for free. Chapter 2, target player mills 4. Chapter 3, exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. You can copy and cast it. This is just more sinkholes. Mystic Sanctuary can be more sinkholes. You can see what's going on here. We're just trying to squeeze the opponent's resources in a way that is super annoying on top of the normal way that Delver decks do it anyway. Murktide Region at the top, Delver of Secrets at the bottom, a bunch of annoying Dimir cards that squeeze your mana or gain card advantage or counter your spells in between. And that's the whole deck. Sideboard, mostly a bunch of stuff for combo. Combos out in force these days. Between the unbanning of Mind's Desire and the recent printing of Beseech the Mirror, totally busted by the way, go watch my Storm video if you haven't yet. Plus the general tendency of MTG OQs to skew towards combo. Seems like a good place to be. And we got 1 swamp, just in case we need that to fetch for in Wasteland Mirrors. And that's what's going on here. It's a pretty simple plan. I hope to cast a lot of sinkholes early and often, and hopefully we will defeat our opponents when they have no permanents in play. That's the goal. Let's do it. I'm on the play in round 1 against Punishing Waterfalls, who is known for Wild Brews. I'm going to mulligan this hand that doesn't quite do anything. Oh no. Not like this. We're going to 5. Okay. Perfectly reasonable 5. I'm going to keep this. And I think I'm going to put back Force of Will and Underground Sea. If I daze, I'll have an extra land drop anyway. I want Sauron's Ransom to rebuild. Okay. I'm going to do it like this. I'm not happy about it. But that's how Multi 5s work. You don't get to be happy about them. Chrome Mox. Yikes. Exiling Grizzlebrand. Oh no. Oh no. And we're getting griefed. We're so dead. We're not getting a turn here. There better be something cool going on here. I'm going to be really disappointed in Punishing Waterfalls. If this is just Reanimator, I'm calling the cops. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, if this is Beseech the Mirror, we're just dead here. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm going to let Waterfalls do their thing here. I want to see what the thing is. If this is just a Tendrils kill, I'm going to be really bored and unimpressed. But then bored in all of my massive sideboard. Okay, they can replay the Chrome Mox with no imprint, Beseech that, cast another spell for free with 4 mana still floating. Actually, with 7 mana still floating. Yep, casting Grief to build Storm, I guess. I guess this line wasn't possible if I dazed the Chrome Mox. But wow, what a world that is. Alright, just a boring old Tendrils kill. Whatever. I mean, we saw Grizzlebrand. There's something cool going on in there. A Null Rods, Force of Negations, Foster Storm, Surgical Extractions, Dothy Voidwalkers. I think these are the cards I want. There's 9 of them. That's a lot. Cards I don't want. Fatal Push. That one's easy. Brazen Borrower, probably kind of a stinker. Oh, Sinkhole. Sucks. Hate cutting Sinkhole here. because it's kind of the reason for the deck, but my opponent just killed me on turn 1 without playing a land, so, I mean, you gotta be real about your life. Founding the third path can probably cut. Orcish Bowmaster seems crazy slow, actually. If I get Brazen Borrower back in, that's another blue card for my 5 forces. And I am bringing in Voidwalkers. I'm going down 2 creatures, or going down 3 creatures, but up 2, so this is actually only 1 fewer threat in the deck. Okay. Black cards out, blue cards in. Let's party. I will keep this hand with many layers of protection. With Grief and Grizzlebrand, we should assume that Reanimate is in this deck. Saga's in this deck too. Woof. Okay, I'm going to Wasteland and then play Delver. Having the shields half down, like I can force here, but I can't force and Fluster, but I think I got to get something into play. I can't just hold up blue forever. And that was a pretty weak turn 1, considering that we just heckin' died last game. Orcish Bowmasters. Well, I guess I'm forcing this. Pitching Spelldancer. Was that a juke? Are we going to die to Storm now? Reanimate. Fuck me. Okay. Nice Dothy Voidwalker in my hand. And all my removal spells out of the deck, and drawing Brainstorm now. Hate my life. We've been juked. Successfully, I might add. And a Saga to follow it up. You can't just chill for a little bit. I'm probably supposed to ponder last turn. I just have this dream where I cast the spell without taking a bath on it. Echo of Eons, huh? Fluster that. Flusters for 3, they have 2, so this worked out just right. Okay, deck. How about a land and then we can get a race going? Ugh. Alright. Ponder. I'll take the Delta. I take 1. Now they're attacking me for 3, and we don't even actually have a race. There's a Delver on top of my deck I'm pretty sure I don't want. Brazen Borrower is still in my deck. That's the closest thing to removal I still have. Right, I'm going to fetch away the Delver. Not a card I want. Oh, Murktide Regent. That's a big O. Okay, I'm in for that. Okay, this is bigger than their stuff. I am winning this race. Please don't have an Executioner's Capsule. Oh, that doesn't cost 1. We're safe. That costs black. If they've drawn another Echo in these 2 random draw steps and they suited for LED here, then we die. Jesus. Do I care about this Bowmaster? I don't. Because if their last card in hand is Echo, then I can daze it now, where I couldn't a second ago. Or if I fight over the Bowmaster, that just goes away, then I die. Okay, now I don't care. Dothy Voidwalker. I can't get echoed anymore. I'm winning the race. And I have double daze protection. Mox Opal's in. Yeah, so they 5 me. I go to 6. I think I actually just attack with Voidwalker. Yeah, that'll put them to 9, and then they're dead to my creatures next turn, and I have a blocker, so I'm not just dead to a stray Orcish Bowmaster in the meantime. Or a Natural Tendrils. Yeah, I'm gonna... It's the same clock, but I get to block their 3/3. Okay, wow. I thought I was dead. Navigated that one. Maybe Powder Keg should be in the deck. As now we've seen Bowmaster, I don't even want my Spelldancer in the deck. Powder Keg can sweep out any number of 0s, and it can kill Orc armies. Plague Engineer on Orc is a powerful weapon in that world. Yeah, I don't think I want Powder Keg and Null Run in my deck. I will take Plague Engineer, though. Just a 1-card sweeper I can bind for any number of Orcs. Okay, I'm going to keep. This hand is very good if I get a single turn, and Surgical can help me get that turn. If they just try to Goldfish a guy as well line, I can win. If they try to Goldfish a Reanimate line, I can win. If they protect it with a single discard spell, I'm in trouble. Okay, turn 1 Bowmaster. Wasn't really my plan to draw cards here. Oh no, I'm getting echoed, and that there's no chance for priority here. Alright, I'm fucked. Just so dead. Oh, I'm gonna exile probably the Lion's Eye Diamonds, I guess. Alright, everybody, screenshot the deck. This is the Punishing Waterfall special. Song of Creation's in here, Sheoldred, Empty the Warrens. Alright, I'm not disappointed. I'm just dead. Old play draw magic once again. And now they have a 8 power creature in play, and they're doming me for 8, and I don't have a single 1-mana answer to anything. Yeah, I'm just dead. Oof. Yeah, turn 1 Bowmaster into Echo. Turn 1 Echo is fine. turn 1 reanimate thing is fine, turn 1 beseech line is fine. Exactly that was not fine. GG's, on to the next one. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. On the play for round 2, I'm going to keep this nice little Delver Daze hand. I haven't done something like this on the channel in a while. This looks surprisingly honest this start. No Sinkhole shenanigans going on here. Wink wink. I also just realized that MTGO spun up the wrong Delvers. And this art's cool too. I just prefer Innistrad. Generally lean towards original printings where I can. This one has the super cool Midnight, or whatever it is, double feature Dark Delver printing. I use those for tokens for Docent of Perfection in one of my ADH decks. Opponent is on 6 cards, and I'm going to Delver Town. An Ancient Tomb Gamer. I think I have to just daze this. My hand has powerful 2-drops I can play, and I could like daze their 3-drop. Okay, they had Simian Spirit Guide to pay for daze. Hopefully that Simian Spirit Guide affects them negatively. I'd love to draw Wasteland here. I would be fine skipping a turn flipping Delver if I get to draw Wasteland. Underground Sea on top. Hate that for me. I'm going to play Delta, because that can manipulate Delver in my next upkeep. I get a look, and then I can fetch if I don't want the card. I can also grab my basic island in an emergency if they shove Blood Moon here. They were not slowed down by having to pitch Spirit Guide. Well, they didn't have a spell this turn. Delver revealing Sinkhole. Let's go. Okay, we're doing the thing. It's here. Opponent didn't have a play. And going after the Ancient Tomb or the Mountain, I think it's the Ancient Tomb. Bang. Chalice of the Void, what? Being on the play as a Delver player versus Chalice of the Void Sinkhole decks is a pretty good feeling. Even if they are doing their thing, like, or Chalice of the Void Ancient Tomb decks is what I meant. Because you get your threat down, and then they have to take a bunch of damage to cast spells, and then you're just attacking them and countering their spells. They had a Solitude. Oh, fucking hell. Come on. They drew Lotus Petal. Now we're going to Caves of Chaos Adventured. They very obviously had a 4-drop last turn. That worked out perfectly for them. All right. I'm done talking shit. They have managed to perfectly thread the needle here. I do have Orcish Bowmasters. That is 2 creatures that can challenge the initiative. I can Bowmaster and then Murktide. Okay, they get 1 draw step here. Oh, they went into Lostwell instead of Forge. I guess that makes sense if they're playing around Dismember or Snuff Out. They kept a card on top. They get that draw, they get the Scry, they get this flip. Anointed Peacekeeper flipped. Come on. Okay, Anointed Peacekeeper is going to name Murktide Region, and then we're just like in the shit forever. Oh, they need a white source first. Oh, they had one. They searched for it, right? Okay. Orcish Bowmasters get in. Deal 1 to my opponent. This is still only 1 blocker. And I'm going to Brainstorm. I need this in the graveyard. Because when I hit them next turn, I get the initiative 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I do need a fetch land. Ugh. Okay, I need something good here. Like Brazen Borrower? Force of Will is not it. Yeah, I'm just dead. I made a run at it here. They just had the nut perfects. Some amount of that came off the top because they did not have a play on 3 mana. And then they answered my threat and had a 4 mana play after I took 2 mana out from under them. Fucking crazy. Okay, Dress Down comes in. Hydroblast comes in. Powder Keg. Children's Edict. Unblockable creatures. Things I like less here. I actually love the Sinkhole. Thoughtseize on the play, I'm pretty okay with. I like the Force of Wills. Sauron's Ransom might be too slow. Founding the Third Path, too cute. Bowmasters, I like that being 2 things. I do like the Sinkhole. Spelldancer's unblockable. Fatal Push can kill most of their creatures if there's not a Chalice in play. I have 2 answers to Chalice, Brazen Borrower and Powder Keg. Maybe Thoughtseize is not something I need as a 3 of. This might be a swamp matchup too. Daze on the play is reasonable. It falls off quick. Thoughtseize and Daze are both good on turn 1, maybe turn 2, and pretty bad after that point. I'm going to give myself access to some of them, but I don't need the full numbers of each. It's actually really tough from here. 7 cards I want to bring in. Only 5 I'm really happy cutting. Maybe it's another Daze and another Thoughtseize. Okay, just upgrading the fringe cards to good cards. Okay, this hand does have Thoughtseize. It might have Dauthi Voidwalker. I am going to keep it. Thoughtseize plus Force of Will with a threat and an answer to Chalice. Not a bad spread here. There are certainly versions of events where we just die anyway, like we saw last game. But I'm going to try to punch a hole where I can. Magus of the Moon, Anointed Peacekeeper, Chalice of the Void, Fury. Okay, this is a lot of messed up cards. My hand can avoid or ignore Chalice of the Void. If I take the Magus, then they can't cast these other cards. The Chrome Mox pitching Peacekeeper doesn't cast Fury and vice versa. They're on monocolorless lands. Yeah, I'm going to take the Magus. That's the one that KOs me the hardest. I have the answer to Chalice literally in my hand right now. And I mean Powder Keg, not Force of Will. Ancient Tomb, Chalice resolves. Come on, untapped, Black Source. We did it. Now I have to decide if I want an attacker in play or if I want Powder Keg to clear Chalice. I want the attacker. Dealing 3 to the deck that's tapping Ancient Tomb to play the game. That's where I want to be. Chrome Mox also gets swept up in Powder Keg whenever they find a spell to commit to that. Also, if they try to Fury me and I force Fury, then Fury's in the Void, and their next creature just dies. Here's the Mox, exiling the Fury. There's the City. Magus of the Moon. I guess I have to counter this. And I don't have to, but I'm playing on mono black, and this color fixes them into red when I'm about to... Well, they'd end up with red. Mountain. I have Swamp. I'm actually going to let this happen, because this turns off Cavern of Souls, which means that my Force of Will has all the action. Mystic Sanctuary, Powder Keg. I'm going to jack up their Chalice and their Chrome Mox right now, and then I'm just going to start attacking. They have 2 mountains. I still have Force. I have mono black answers to Magus in my deck. Sinkhole's not castable with Magus around. I do only have 1 Swamp. But sideboard Swamp coming in clutch here. And anything I force ends up in the Void. The Anointed Peacekeeper puts them ahead on the race. Them having planes here is tough. Puts them ahead on the race. I can also put that in the Void. Yeah, I am just going to force this. Put them to 1 card in hand. Everything I'm scared of costs 4. And I think Peacekeeper is a pretty big upgrade to Dauthi Voidwalker at this point. It can attack and block. And I get to see what's in their hand and hopefully stop it from happening. Peacekeeper. Okay, I'm going to name Seasoned Dungeoneer. I don't care about Chalice. I'm just kind of flipping a coin on their unbeatable 4-drops. They could cast either one. They have mountains and plains here. Chalice of the Void in their hand. There's the Chalice. Chalice and Blood Moon doing their thing here. I'm ahead. If neither of us draw another card for the rest of the game, I win, but also they have better top decks than me. I'm in the market for Sheoldred's Edict, like beginning and end of list. Right now, even that isn't as good. But if they double block here and lose their Magus, then I sinkhole their plains. But then I'm stuck under Chalice. I'm going to keep firing in. Yeah, they're double blocking. I'm going to take the Magus with me on the way out here. And then sinkhole their plains. And hope I draw a card I can play, like Murktide Regent. Or Orcish Bowmaster. Now it's Chalice versus 7 hits from Archon of Bamaria. That's the game we're playing. Come on, Murktide. Underground Sea comes into play tapped. Might as well commit it now. In case I break out of the Chalice, I have Brazen Borrower still in my deck for that. I already used my Powder Keg. Chrome Mox, uh-oh. That's their spell for the turn, though. And they exiled Seasoned Dungeoneer. They must have another Seasoned Dungeoneer. Sheoldred's Edict. This card doesn't really help me at this moment. It's genuinely horrifying that they pitched Seasoned Dungeoneer to Chrome Mox. Okay, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. That just saves me 2 damage. And I'm not going to be able to edict them if they have a follow-up Seasoned Dungeoneer anyway. Crazy shit. Okay. Now, Murktide is still the answer here. Lorien Revealed. What a fucker. Just 1 away from that. Okay, I can't win this game. I needed 1 turn to do this. That was a deck building study of the blue cantrip decks are better at card selection if they have access to their blue cantrips. Like, if I could have pondered 3 turns ago without the Chalice in play, I just run away with this, almost certainly. But the decks that don't play blue cantrips have a higher density of high impact cards. So my opponent just taking 1 natural Richard Garfield draw step per turn presented Archon of Emeria, Chrome Mox pitching Seasoned Dungeoneer into Seasoned Dungeoneer over a cycle of turns where I basically did nothing at all. Cool. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the play for round 3 with a full house Days of the Overdelvers. I'm going to keep it. There might be an argument to get the basic island here, just to make sure that my 1-lander with multiple Dazes does what it needs to do. Oh, we're playing against the Creative Technique deck. Kind of that deck's whole thing is getting to 6 mana. If we can get our Sinkholes and Wastelands going, we have quite the action here. But if we don't, we're going to die immediately. I would like Delver to flip Revealing, Ponder, or Brainstorm here. All right, Delver, flip Revealing, Brainstorm. Give it to me. Brainstorm, find me a Wasteland. Okay, I have 2 Dazes, Orcish Bowmaster. Brazen Borrower sometimes matters against this deck, but only if they get stuff going, which I don't want them to do. I think I'm going to put back the 3rd Daze and the Orcish Bowmaster. They don't really draw cards, that's not a thing. Ponder, Fatal Push, 2 lands, no thanks. Shuffle this. Refound Bowmaster, okay. If they have a tap land here, I get to take another big chunk out of them. If they go Ancient Tomb, that's bad. I kind of need them to cascade into Creative Technique rather than just have the technique, because then my double daze works, where it might not otherwise. Obviously, they just have the card. Okay, demonstrate into a counterspell. Ponder, find me Force of Will. Okay, I found Force of Will. Do not shuffle the library. Force, pitch, Brazen Borrower, and then I have to double daze the other copy. Daze, daze. Okay, that was a fortunate turn of events. Now I need them not to have another Ancient Tomb and another payoff spell all next turn. They are dead on board, and I have 1 more YOLO Brainstorm that could find another counterspell. Wow, okay. Dodge that one narrowly. Hydroblast is good. Flusterstorm is good. Surgical Extraction I like quite a bit, because if you counter a Creative Technique off the stack and then extract them all, they can't cascade into it and cast their whole deck anymore. Fatal Push does not have targets in the deck. That's an easy out. Sheoldred's Edict only matters if I'm already losing really hard. I'm just going to play to a world where that's not the thing. Force Negation coming in. Thoughtseize is good. Bowmasters is mid. Sinkhole's actually busted here. It's just Time Walk in the purest sense of the way. Like, frequently, Sinkhole is kind of Time Walk anyway, but it's like even more true in this matchup. They don't really draw cards. I think Bowmaster goes out. Just a big wall of blue spells, forces, and cheap interaction is what I'm doing. I don't need Voidwalker. They don't really do graveyard stuff. Don't care about Powder Keg or Null Rod. Okay, here we go. This is the plan. These blue-black tempo Thoughtseize decks are exactly the type of deck that you want to be against this Cascade combo deck. Sheesh. Look at this. One land, this goes insane. It's actually not even bad without a land, but I am going to mulligan it. Okay. The double Wasteland Hydroblast action. And I'm going to put Daze on the bottom. I don't think I need that. I'm not going to have an island in play until turn 3 anyway. I'm just going to Wasteland you, Wasteland you. You get 1 turn of kind of free development. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to play Delta here, because if I draw a black source next turn, Sinkhole is just as good as Wasteland. And if I don't, then they don't have 6 mana anyway, and it doesn't matter. Flusterstorm, cool. And I'm going to hit the red sources where I can. The goal here is to just hit their stuff until I'm able to Murktide. Neat. Underground Sea, Sinkhole. Hit the red source. Sinkhole moves the Murktide forward. I actually have Murktide next turn. Wasteland Murktide as 4/4. That's enough for me. Oh, nice. Surgical Extraction for your face. Bang, 4/4 Murktide. You got 5 turns. Hickory Woodlot's in. Come on, Sinkhole. Force of Will. All right. My walls are up, and I have a threat on board. This deck does play like hundreds of lands. Not literally, but I think it's like 30 plus. There's a lot of lands to have to navigate. But it's just Time Walk. Oh, I'm getting auto-ward. Sure, that's fair. All right. We're back to defense mode. But they did have to take depletion counters off 2 of these depletion lands. And now if they use them, they're just gone. Creative Technique. Are you going to demonstrate? You are. The demonstration. I get to Thoughtseize you. And that builds enough Storm that I can counter both techniques. And I'm going to take the other technique. Taking the Emrakul is actually kind of annoying. Because that would shuffle away the graveyard. Yeah, I'm going to take the technique. And then... Oh, the copy doesn't count. So actually only 2 spells. I can't Fluster here. I can Hydroblast the bottom technique. Or no, I Surgical first. Right, okay. Surgical first. Targeting the technique that's in the graveyard. And then I can Fluster both copies on the stack. And their deck doesn't work anymore. They can still just like play 6 drops and hope that they're good. Maelstrom Wanderer still a beating. And now Flusterstorm works. All right, putting 2 Flusters on each of these, and they have 1 colorless floating. Can't pay. Their hand is Crystal Vein, Ottawara, Emrakul. And they don't have creative techniques in their deck anymore. They have to beat me with 6 drops. And their things in the graveyard, and Murktide is re-emerging as a 6/6 this turn. Okay, go. The lands they have do not make Ottawara. If they play a random 6-drop, I can daze it. Ancient Tomb was a card I did not have knowledge of. I'm playing out my land. This way I can hard cast Force of Negation and cast Hydroblast if I need to do both. But I think every card in their deck at this point is a creature. Bunch of dazes. They're dead next turn. Sulfur Vent can sacrifice to use Ottawara. Okay, so they're going to have to do that to be alive. Unless they draw Maelstrom Wanderer, which is the best card in their deck. Delver's Secrets. Okay, that's good. They're going to have to spend an entire land just to be alive here. And then either 2 life or 2 depletion counters. Yeah, 2 depletion counters, bounce this, and then Delver comes in. Nice to find a follow-up threat here. Their hand is Emrakul and 2 mystery cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Delver will kill them before they can play Emrakul. Fluted Delta does not flip me. I am going to put Delta into play, though, to get extra selection. Also, I can now hardcast Force of Negation and Daze, or hardcast Force of Will. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. But I'm about to turn off the Ancient Tomb, so they actually don't have 2 of these lands that they appear to have. Whether Delver flips or not, they can't tomb anymore. Alright, Delver flip revealing Thoughtseize. That's 3. Let's go. Out on their own terms like a boss tapping the Ancient Tombs. Okay, we did it. On to the next round. We're on the board. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.events/subscribe. I'm on the play for round 4, doing pretty good on die rolls here. I'm going to keep his turn 1 Delver double Wasteland hand. Founding the Third Path is going to need some action. This one has read ahead though, you can just start on whatever chapter you want. If I start with mill 4, I have 4 hits to find a Sinkhole, or at least a Ponder or something. Doesn't have to be Sinkhole. But we're just going to flip Delver, revealing Thoughtseize, then Wasteland my opponent's turn 1 play, and then just go off from there. That's the plan. We're not going to need this Founding the Third Path. Oh, somebody wants to get rowdy. My hand has so many heckin' lands in it. Oh no, they are lands. Okay, never mind. They're going to be better at this than I am. Oh no. Oh god. They Life with Loam here. We're just gone. Vampire Hexmage. Okay. Well, if I just float Wasteland in play, they can't depths anyway. Mercurial Spelldancer doesn't flip this thing. Hexmage has first strike. There's no trade to offer here. I'm okay if they just try to develop out a depths plan, because I have that stuffed pretty well. X equals 1. Yikes. What does that do? What I'm not okay with is if they find a Life from the Loam or some cool trick like that. This probably gets the rotation buddy, whatever that thing's called, Elvish Reclaimer. They can also take all the counters off this and immediately get the 8/8. Yeah, that's a problem for me. They should attack my face here. Yeah, no reason to attack the battle. That can be empty whenever you want it to be. 8/8 reach. Good luck. Delver of Secrets. Okay, and battles do cast on the backside, but I couldn't counter it on the front side. How the hell would I deal with it now? Okay, they're on 8/8 mode. I need Brazen Borrower real quick, or Fatal Push works on this. It's a 2-drop technically. Sauron's Ransom. I will at least flip my Delver. And they have the Reclaimer in play. It would cost 2. They'd have to Dark Depths from hand to win this turn. Yeah, Founding the Third Path doesn't work here. It doesn't cast the Ransom anyway. I think I need to read ahead on Founding the Third Path. They could also just Bajuka Bog me. I'm going to mill myself for 4. There is a Fatal Push in there. I can Bajuka Bog. Sucks. They could also present Dark Depths this turn. Who knows? All sorts of horrible things could happen to me. Please just bash for 11. Oh, sick. Okay. I'm taking 11. Do you also have Dark Depths? Another Reclaimer. Okay. Okay, Founding the Third Path. Exile target instant or sorcery. I choose Fatal Push. Target this big dino. Oh, I have to pay for this? Bummer. Alright, well, I guess I'll just do that then. Okay, big dino's answered. How do I think this game is going to work? I have to chump block this turn. Spelldancer can block. It just can't be blocked. I think I have to put Spelldancer into play and double block one of these things, get the board empty, and then try to ransom into an answer to the other one, or a bigger creature, all the while hoping they never draw Dark Depths. It's a plan. Didn't realize I had to pay for the spell on Founding the Third Path. I bought foils of this when this set came out. Or no, I didn't. What am I thinking of? I think I'm thinking of the Modern Age. That was a card that got some pauper play. Yeah, I've never cast Founding the Third Path in my life. Never mind. I'm off it. I don't own that card. Don't care about it. Okay, double block one of these. I lose everything. I go to 2. And then I need to draw Murktide Regent, Brazen Borrower. Oh, don't do more stuff. Thoughtseize. Okay. Taking my Sauron's Ransom. It's basically in top deck mode anyway. Sauron's Ransom would have to run hot as hell, and they'd have to fuck up the pile for that to have done what I needed to. Brainstorm is more looks. Come on, deck. Ponder. That's not more looks. Thoughtseize. Oh no. Thoughtseize, Mystic Sanctuary back in the deck. Yeah, I can't actually get anything here because I would need the land and the removal spell. Okay, we're dead. Turns out when you attack for 11 on turn 3 and play another 3/4 creature, it's pretty good. Bringing in my Edicts, I like the Graveyard Hate. Do I care about Dress Down? That's actually interesting. Maybe, maybe not. Nullrod and Powder Keg messing up Mox Diamonds. I can see that being cool, but I also don't really believe in it as a strategy. Dress Down is interesting. That can make the Reclaimer's smaller. It can knock Indestructible off of Merit Lage. I think Days I can chill on. Founding the Third Path I can chill on. Sorry, Founding. I wasn't totally sold on this card anyway, and learning that I have to spend mana on the copy. Because I even said at the start of that game, I can just turn 2 Founding the Third Path, turn 3 Sinkhole. That's not even true if I cast this off Wasteland Island. Okay, good to know that in a situation where it didn't kill me. Alright, I'm going lower on Days. I have my removal in Plague Engineer if they have the Sylvan Safekeeper is relevant. Bowmaster can beat on Safekeeper, though. Dress Down can beat on Safekeeper. Okay, I'm going in. Do we keep the one lander with Thoughtseize against the dedicated Wasteland strategy? I don't think so. If this was a 2-lander, I'd be all the way in. I think I gotta send this, though. Okay, this one's better. Keep it bottom Misty Rainforest. Like, if they want to Wasteland me when I have Delver in play, I'm okay with that arrangement, generally. Though this is exactly how I started last game. But they had 2 Mox Diamonds. That's not fair. Here we are, playing exactly the same game we played last time. Except they don't have 2 Mox Diamonds. Sheoldred's Edict revealed. Polluted Delta in play. I didn't board in my Swamp. Maybe I'm supposed to. But Polluted Delta and Scalding Tarn are the same card in the deck, in its current configuration. Mox Diamond. Okay. They did have it, just not right away. Discarding, what is this card? Caracas, okay. I'm not going to cycle Lorian yet. I don't think I need to. Just float a Wasteland in play, make sure I don't die. Attack with my Aberration. Yeah, I can't Wasteland straight into Crop Rotation. Not a good deal. I can Fatal Push an Endurance anyway, which is kind of the thing I'm worried about happening on 3 mana. Nurturing Peatland hurts them when they tap it. I like that as a deck that's trying to deal 20. Uh-oh. Here's this jerk. Okay, I can Fatal Push the Hex Mage, and even if they Crop Rotate into Dark Depths in response, Wasteland answers it. Murktide, interesting. Aberration, get in. I would have to Wasteland to get Murktide into play here. And once again, that puts me kind of in trouble to a Crop Rotation. I think I'm getting after it, though. Just putting damage on the board. All right, they just had nothing. Love that for me. Add a 4/4 Murktide to the situation. This goes from a 4-turn clock to a 2-turn clock, and they know I have Sheoldred's Edict. And I think leaving them with Peatland over Boseiju, like casting a black spell versus taking damage every time. They have access to black anyway. I guess we have seen Hex Mage, which would be a double black spell that they wouldn't be able to cast this way. Kind of like them taking a bunch of damage, though. If I get in for 7 here, and then even if they stabilize, they'll be limited on their output based on their land killing them. They came to the same conclusion I did. Cool. Okay, on the draw now. Do I want this Powder Keg in? We haven't seen any indication they're an Urza Saga strategy, but that doesn't mean they're not. Days is kind of even worse on the draw. I guess if I do get Sinkholes poppin', Powder Keg is relevant. Also, Powder Keg on 2 bricks a lot of their aggression. Oh, Plague Engineer on Vampire cuts off half their deck. Interesting. All right. Where's this Plague Engineer going to go? Do I just go 0 days? I think I'm going -1 Thoughtseize. Oh, I wanted the Swamp too. Okay, there's more to figure out. Bowmaster, we have seen at least one high-impact X1 in their deck. We haven't seen them draw any cards. Doesn't mean they won't. But okay, I am shaving a Bowmaster. Let's do it. Wasteland, Dress Down, 2 threats. I think I'm in for this. Opponent also kept 7. Mox Diamond. Incapable of being chill over there. Always Mox Diamonding me. Basic Forest. Elvish Reclaimer. Wowie, what a start. My Powder Keg actually looks really good if I can find it. Polluted Delta is not the same as Flooded Strand anymore, because there is the Swamp in the deck. Basic Island Delver. Crop Rotation. Just mix the Reclaimers into monsters immediately. If they rotate for depths and go land Hex Mage, that is a line here. That gets them where they want to be. I went for a fetch land. Interesting. Is that just slow speed color fixing, or what are we doing with that? And I'm getting out Delvered here. They played 2 3-power creatures on turn 1. Second main fetch for Bayou. Black, white in the pool? Oh no. What could this be? Sheoldred's Edict. Okay, my creature's gone. Need some removal of my own. Thoughtseize, probably not what I'm looking for here. How does this game work? If I dress down in my end step, then they have 1/2s for their turn that don't tutor lands. And I'm moving slowly closer to Murktide, which could stabilize against the Reclaimers. I think I'm going to do that. End step, dress down. Drawing a lot of lands here. Vampire Hexmage that has no abilities. For now. Someday it will. Okay. I'm at 10. Oh, Fatal Push was a good one. Fatal Push on Hexmage gives me a 4/4 Murktide without taking 2 from Thoughtseize. They're removing all the counters from my island in response, not giving me the satisfaction of killing their creature. Power move. Okay, my creature is bigger than their creatures, and they have 1 card in hand. Passing the turn. If I can untap 1 more time without a Merit Lage in play and put this Wasteland down, I'll feel like I have some semblance of stability. If they just Edict me again, then I lose. I don't know that I can come back from that. Wasteland, that doesn't change my life at all. I have so many lands, I don't care. I mean, they can Wasteland my Wasteland and stop themselves from, or that protects their Merit Lage. And if they Wasteland my Wasteland, then I Wasteland their Bayou in response. They can spin away Bayou with Reclaimer. I guess I just have to put this Wasteland into play. And it's risky to Thoughtseize them at this juncture, because there's a good chance that card in their hand is just a land. They could have cast any 3-drop creature there. They could have Zenith. They could have put Depths into play the turn they had Hexmage. Okay, rotating now. They could Wasteland in response, and then there's no targets for mine at all. This is the same as if they had initiated the Wasteland. But if this resolves, they suddenly have a target. I can't tell if they've held priority or if they're already searching. Oh, it says waiting for them to choose a card from their library. They are already searching. I'm going to waste the Yavimaya immediately before Reclaimer untaps. Okay, they're crop rotating it away. So that Thoughtseize, I mean, it still would have missed. But they are able to access their depths here if they want it. They are Hellbent versus a blue deck. Brainstorm set me free. Reclaimer can do stuff, but slowly. Okay, don't cast Vampire Hexmage or play Thespian Stage right now off the top, please. Sajiri Step, okay. That does get in for 3 here, kind of annoying. Not game over, though. Not a huge deal. All right, come on, Brainstorm. Come on, Removal. Come on, Sinkhole. Deck full of action here. Oh my goodness, why? I'm going to play this blue to Delta and pass the turn. Is this my penance for boarding in a land? I'm guaranteed to flood out. And they can spin up Thespian Stage here. I still have Brazen Borrower and 2 Edicts in my deck that can deal with Merit Lage. I just need to draw them deck, please. WTF. They have Verdant Catacombs as their card. If they make Merit Lage now, it plays around Wasteland, but they have Wasteland in play. They're not worried about Wasteland anyway. Yeah, I need the Brazen Borrower or the Edict or a cantrip that could find those things. I think I actually am going to fetch here. Let me make sure they're still fetchable in my deck. Like, I'm generally anti... Like, people ask in the comments all the time, like, why are you just leaving fetch lands in play? That's silly. You could be thinning your deck. And normally, that's wrong, and drawing a Brainstorm is better. But right now, I can both thin my deck and draw Brainstorm, and I'm dead on board. So, gotta make moves. Come on, relevant spell. And by firing off their Wasteland in my upkeep like that, now they have to play around Wasteland where they didn't before. Okay. Brazen Borrower Edict. Brainstorm, please save me. Brazen Borrower Edict. Sheoldred's Edict. Hello. Okay. Thoughtseize not a player in this game anymore. If I fetch to 5, they still can't blitz around me. There is Mystic Sanctuary still in my deck after I ponder here. Powder Keg. Okay. We have a multi-turn plan emerging. Each opponent sacrifices a creature token. They only have 1 of those to choose from. If they just go blitz aggro here, they lose the race. I can Sinkhole their only land. Or no, I can't really Sinkhole because they have Reclaimer in play and 2 mana available. If they spend their mana, though. Invasion for 0. Okay, so we know there's a Dryad Arbor in the deck. They discarded it game 1. Might as well put that in, I suppose. Now Sinkhole works. I can ponder Sinkhole and Powder Keg. I'm going to ponder first. Dothy Voidwalker, Brainstorm. I do like all these cards. Do not shuffle. Sinkhole is going to hit the Bayou. Now that there's an invasion just face up on the battlefield, I'm not trying to get Hex-Maged off the top. Powder Keg will completely stabilize next turn. They can attack me to 1 in the meantime. Destroy each artifact and creature. I mean, if they just bash with everything, I can block Reclaimer, pop Powder Keg, kill Dryad Arbor and Mox Diamond. Maybe that's better, actually. Yeah, if they just attack, I'm blocking a Reclaimer. Is the reason to play Powder Keg instead of Ratchet Bomb is Ratchet Bomb says non-land permanent. Powder Keg says destroy artifact and creature, which means it kills Dryad Arbors and it kills artifact lands. This is the turn. If they attack with everything, I'm leaving them with 1 Elvish Reclaimer for permanence. If they don't attack with everything, I'll sweep up their Reclaimers. Okay, that doesn't change anything. They're passing the turn. In that case, I will go to my turn and charge up the Keg and kill the Reclaimers. And I'm going to lead on Voidwalker, so everything here ends up in the Void, where they can't. I don't know if they're going to loam it or what they're going to do with it, but I don't want it to happen. Bang. They get 1 activation of Reclaimer on the way out, which puts Dryad Arbor into the Void. Getting Dark Depths. They are playing other outs here. They are in top deck mode with no pressure. Thespian Stage and Vampire Hexmage are both hits here. If I brainstorm right now and find Wasteland or Sinkhole, I am in the money. I think I want to do that. Yeah, Sinkhole. And I believe I sink the Urborg. Cool. All right. Now they can't Hexmage. They can't stage. Yeah, wow. That was a great match. Awesome magic. What's up, Sinkhole? Thanks for showing up in the lands adjacent matchup. On to the final round. We got a positive record to defend. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the play in round 5, I think this is 5 die rolls 1. I am going to keep. If I'm going to win 5 die rolls and waste some luck on that, I prefer it to be in the Delver Days deck, so no complaints. Yeah, positive record on the line. We are 2-2 at this point. Rough start to the league. Starting to rally. Volcanic Island. Sleep Curse Fairy, what the shit? Enters with 3 stun counters on it. So this doesn't untap for 3 turns. It has Ward 2 when it gets there. Alright, I'm going to let this thing resolve. I don't want to get into a daze fight, because if they daze my daze, then my Wasteland doesn't hit. Flip revealing Force of Will. Wasteland. Ponder. Okay, I like... You may cast an instant sorcery without paying its mana cost. Okay, so Founding of the Third Path does have a free version on Chapter 1, and then a pay version on Chapter 3. Now I understand. Okay, I'm going to put the basic island in my hand, and the Founding the Third Path can cast Sinkhole. After that, ooh, someone had a 1-lander. Alright, I guess I'm not casting Sinkhole. I think I'm just not casting anything. I'm just going to pass with this Wall of Dazes up. The Fairy untaps turn after next. They're going to clean up over there. Whoa! Questing Druid. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until your next end step. You may play those cards, and then whenever you cast a spell that is white, blue, black, or red, put a +1 counter on this. That's cool. Opponent is in the Wilds of Eldraine sauce, and I like it. Backup Delver, no land. Okay, I'm pretty far away from casting Sinkhole. I would need to Found the Third Path in order to cast Sinkhole. What do I want my opponent to know about? I'm going to play Delver, and I can guarantee Delver flips with this Brainstorm. Okay, I'm going to put back the Force of Will they already know about, and the Sinkhole under it. I have double daze against an opponent who has gone to discard because they're missing land drops. I don't think I need Force of Will here. I'm also missing land drops, so I don't even mind dazing. And Murktide is close to arrival. Sleep Curse Fairy is no longer cursed. It can untap next turn. Oh, that Wasteland's really good. Okay. As far as lands they could draw go, I am still ahead on this board, but I am about to miss my land drop, and I know I'm brainstorm locked at least one more card, but my opponent's at 6 against 2 3/3s, or 3 power creatures. Ward 2 doesn't help in combat, which is where this Sleep Curse Fairy has to live. And I have 3 free counters to make sure these things connect. In we go. Okay, they're at 2. They have to beat Daze and Force of Will right now. Wasteland cheese game. Love to see it. Okay, we're in a pseudo Delver Mirror. They're a Rug Miracle Grow kind of throwback deck. That's cool. Flusterstorm, Hydroblast, Basic Swamp. Probably interested in Powder Keg, Dothy Voidwalker. I don't know if they're going to have Murktides. Shave all my forces. Sinkhole versus what's certainly a Daze deck is a little risky, because Daze counters Sinkhole, even if it doesn't counter Sinkhole. Like, you just pick up the land that would be getting targeted. I like Thoughtseize early. I don't like it late. I like Daze at basically all times. I like Bowmaster at basically all times. Lorien Revealed might be a little hopeful. I do have 19 actual lands in the deck. I don't need it as a mana source. Love Sauron's Ransom. Love Brazen Borrower. Founding the Third Path. Okay, I think that one can chill. Plague Engineer. Do I want that? I'll decide about that if there's a game 3. I think that Dryad thing they showed me, the questing whoever shows up as a 1/1. That's worth being aware of. It's a 1-lander with a lot of juice. Island Ponder. Let's go. Mishra's Bauble. Cool. That makes sense. We saw 2 of that questing druid guy that flips 2 cards. Makes sense to have zeros in your deck if you're trying to leverage that. Whoa, drew my island anyway. What a sicko. Delver, get in. Now I don't even have to ponder to find my land drop. They have a response. I will Daze a Pyroblast here, I think. Will I? Do I care? Interesting. Yeah, sure. It Delver's in. A Pyroblast is a really powerful spell in this matchup. Like, they could have just waited until they untapped, played a land, and tried to kill Delver. Seek the Beast. Okay, here's the thing. Exile the top 2 until your next end step. So this does work. That is an instant. Daze and Carpet. You may play those cards. Yeah, they can daze me here. That's cool. Carpet is uncool. Questing Druid. In Thoughtseizing them here sets them back a land if they want to daze. Or I could just not give them an island and wait. Yeah, I'm not going to give them a free daze here. Let's let that card burn off if we can. And if they have a green source, they have to decide if they want the questing homie or Carpet of Flowers, because I didn't give them. Okay, they want the carpet. Now they can't quest because they don't have an island. Went for the long-term advantage over the short-term thing. Fair enough. Respectable, responsible, I suppose. Okay. The day's burnt off. Oh, right. This one isn't until end of turn. This is just on an adventure. They can do this fucking whatever. Yeah, they obviously made the right play. I got confused with all the places cards were going. Sinkhole. I don't actually want to draw that card. I'm going to fetch before I draw that. Not helpful when you're face up against a Carpet of Flowers. Okay, Basic Island and Thoughtseize You is going to be my... Alright, I'm going to attack first. See if they want to commit a bolt. Or if they have a bolt, then maybe my Thoughtseize would trick them into casting it before they take 3. I'm just going to Thoughtseize. Currently can't Veil of Summer me. Daze is gone. They're seeking the Beast again. Bauble and another Questing Druid. They're going off over there. Pyroblast, Daze, Spell Pierce. A series of annoying cards. I'm taking Pyroblast though. And I'm going to cast Ponder right now while I can. I have to have so many windows open to keep track of what cards they can play. So stupid. Okay, these cards are medium bad, actually. Like Daze and Spell Pierce over there. And they get to dump out all this. I think I will hold on to the Bowmaster. But I am falling behind quick right now. These druids are going to go nuts. They have 5 mana to work with. They can go Questing Druid, Seek the Beast, put another Questing Druid in exile. If that hits a land, then they can play another Questing Druid, and the Seek the Beast triggers the first Questing Druid. Okay, we're about to see their deck go off. There's a Druid from exile. This is the Human Druid, for the record. If there's a game 3, I'm going to want Plague Engineer. I've decided. Seeking the Beast. Found Wasteland Murktide region. Jeez, that Wasteland is bad. I'm already desperately trying to navigate Daze and Spell Pierce here, and then they find a Wasteland. Tough crowd. Okay, this Murktide is a next turn problem. If they wait to waste me on my own turn, I get to Bowmaster their Bobble Trigger. And I'm not really using my mana in a good way next turn anyway. Okay, yeah, that was the correct time to do that. Bobble Trigger. And I know they have Daze and Spell Pierce over there. Let me see if I can draw out the Spell Pierce. I could not. Okay. Land number 3 versus playing Delver right now. I know they have a Murktide in exile. I guess I have to solve that problem before I can keep any hands. But my Murktide could solve their Murktide. Okay, I'm going to keep the Underground Sea in my hand. I'm not going to fetch, and I'm going to attack for 3. They've got 2 Questing Druids in exile and a Murktide Regent. They have 4 mana to work with. They can play a Druid and play a Murktide, grow the 2 Druids. This is very cool. But they declined to use Carpet. I guess they want to attack, see if I kill this thing. Maybe I have another island second main. Not how that's going to go down, though. Oh, interesting. They pondered instead of Murktide. Didn't want to commit to the big show. And I'm not going to give you... Or if they wasteland my Misty, then I have to decide between fetching and giving them Murktide second main, or just going down a land. Okay, that's not... Oh, okay, yeah, I guess any land does it. Yeah, duh, okay. They pondered to find a land. They can still Murktide. They're fine. They're doing a good job. I'm over here being a fool. But they declined again. Okay, they're just passing on the Murktide to leave up Spell Pierce and Daze. That's cool. I'm drawing Sauron's Ransom, and I can shove Murktide into the Daze. They can't Spell Pierce that one. Keep pushing damage here. All right, maximum size Murktide I'm capable of. I have the Daze and the Spell Pierce speed here. If they have another Pyroblast, good job. Okay, they floated a blue and they're dazing. I'm going to fetch. And I'll pay, obviously. Is it another Daze? What are we doing? Brutal. All right, now their creatures are just heckin' large. But I have cleared the Daze. This is 9 damage. If they bolt me, I'm dead. If they just play, what do they need? 2 cantrips, I'm dead. Yeah, they're certainly going off here. Questing Druid number 3. Apparently I need to buy Questing Druids. And they came up with another Wasteland when I know they have Spell Pierce. It's going to be very hard to beat. And just bolt for lethal, sure. Good job. Okay, Plague Engineer is coming back in. It can name human. And I don't think Dress Down matters. I still don't think I want Force of Will. Daze is better on the play. Thoughtseize is better on the play. I already have the Powder Keg in. That doesn't kill Carpet of Flowers anyway. I have no answers to Carpet of Flowers in my deck, other than countering it. Yeah, I think I actually need to cut... Or if I'm going to cut Sinkhole, I should probably cut Founding the Third Path. What does Founding the Third Path do? Oh, I can cast Fatal Push out of my graveyard. Maybe I should just have all the third paths in and the Sinkholes out. The Sinkholing a Carpet of Flowers deck is a losing battle all day, every day. Okay, I'm going in like this. Keep. Opponent's down to 6 cards. I don't think I fetch Basic Swamp here. I think I just lean in on Underground Seas. And I am going to shove Voidwalker. Maybe it gets bolted, maybe it gets dazed, whatever. Maybe it just resolves. But either way, I need to start softening up their answers to Plague Engineer. Floating red. And dazing, okay. Okay, so they're down a land on the draw against my double Wasteland hand. If they don't have Carpet of Flowers, I'm going to feel pretty good about my situation. Oh, now they're just wasting me. Okay. We're both living in this world. Orcish Bowmasters, just right now, face up, main phase. I'm not giving them a chance to make their land drop and dazing this. I'm not giving them a chance to ponder out. Just put it into play. Another Wasteland, okay. We're living in a hell of our own design. Another Bowmaster, someday. Maybe fetching Basic Swamp was right. I was betting against them having 2 Wastelands. If they only have 1, then I'd rather have Underground Sea in play than Swamp. But the fact they have 2 just got me. Basic Swamp's still a good draw, though. Founding the Third Path, okay. Maybe someday. That will cast nothing. Now we're going to find out quick if they play a basic land or not. And if they do, can they afford to fetch it? Here's a fetch. They do have a basic island. They could play a 4/4 Murktide here with this volcanic we know about. Does appear to be happening. Okay, I have Brazen Borrower in my hand. I have another Bowmaster in my hand. I'm not going to wasteland now because I have no reason to. Okay, now I have reason to. I know I'm not going to need it. Like, if I drew a colored source there, I could have played around Daze with my wasteland. Now we have the smaller creature. I am sitting on answers, but yikes. Can I cast Petty Theft with Founding the Third Path? Does that work? I actually have no idea. They are interested in racing. Sleep Cursed Fairy, that'll wake up eventually and be pretty good. Come on, deck. How about a freaking land? Their Bauble triggers my Bowmaster. The race is on. Oh, we found a land. Okay. Basic island or basic swamp is the question. I don't think I want to play the Wasteland Chicken game anymore. Maybe I am the chicken. I don't know. I'm going to get Island, though. And Brazen Borrower is the important card in my hand. I could play Delver. And I know they have Daze in their deck. Founding the Third Path. I guess I can find out right now if Brazen Borrower works with this. Or I could just play Delver. Alright, I'm going to play Delver. This doesn't get dazed. Plays around the most things. Can flip the race. Can trade with Sleep Cursed Fairy when it wakes up. By the way, Sleep Cursed Fairy. Stun counters read if it would become untapped, remove a stun counter from it instead. So the 1 blue untapped Sleep Cursed Fairy removes a stun counter. It doesn't just untap it. It's not like a tempo thing that you can use it every other turn or use it if you have 2 mana. You actually have to survive a bunch of untap steps or pay 6 mana into it to untap it. But yeah, Fatal Push doesn't even work because the fairy has ward and all their creatures are big. Yeah, I think I just have to pass here. If neither of us are attacking, I kind of like my position. Tropical Island, uh-oh. I am going to wasteland them right now in combat before they can do something like play Carpet of Flowers. All right, they can untap their fairy. Now it is actually awake. Maybe that wasteland was reckless. Now I'm not playing around Daze anyway. Okay, Delver reveals Brainstorm. That's a good card. I'm going to cast that one. If they've been sitting on a Daze, this might draw it out. And if it doesn't draw out a Daze, then I get to cast Brainstorm. Either way, I'm okay with this interaction. Daze it is. Okay. The days of our lives. I am winning the race currently. Whoever finds the thing that breaks this open first is going to win this game. Oh, okay. Murktide attacking. That makes more sense than attacking with Fairy. Okay, so if I attack with Delver, they go to 3. Then they 7 me. Or they go to 6, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they actually do have to block here. They're not winning the race. There's a pause in combat. They're doing the same math I just did. But 6, 6, 2, 3, dead. They are actually winning the race with Murktide. Okay. If they just turn their stuff sideways, they lose on board. If they have any additional blocker or removal spell, they start winning on board. The ward on this fairy is actually really, really good. I could have Fatal Pushed it through Founding the Third Path 2 turns ago if that wasn't there, but it is, so cool. Certainly now, like 4 turns after I fetched for this island, I wish it was Underground Sea. I think they would have played out a Wasteland by now just as a mana source. Okay, now they're flipping the script and just attacking with the little one. Okay, deck. Land. Another Delver. I will put that onto the stack. They know I'm top decking and they know I have nothing. Or else I would have played this whole game very differently. Now, if they attack with either one of these creatures and Delver flips, they lose. If they attack with both creatures, I go to 3. I trade with Sleep Cursed Fairy and Delver flips, they lose. If they hold their creatures back, then they don't lose to a Delver flip. Uh-oh. They're signing up for the coin flip. Have to block. All right, deck. Let's win this coin flip. Oh, no. Lightning Bolt? Am I just dead? Okay. Well done. Yeah, these scrappy 4/5 natural Wasteland Delver mirrors are always kind of a shit show. I said on turn 1 I'm not going to fetch for basic Swamp, where turns out if I had just fetched for Swamp Island, I probably win that game because I'm casting spells during that whole drag and they're not. But like I said, if they only have one wasteland but not two, I'd rather have an Underground Sea in play than a basic land. Fun little decisions that if this, then this, and you could play the math, like what are the chances they have two wastelands in their top 8 cards, or versus just play it safe and ignore the math. Like I'll make it 0% to lose to this, but then maybe I'm not casting my spells. And my opening hand had Dauthi Voidwalker in it. You can't just fetch basic island when you have 2 lands. Yeah, I don't know. That was a lot of fun. Sinkhole had some moments to shine. It also had some moments where it was a brick. Basically, kind of unplayable in Days matchups, which is really tough sell on the card. Days matchups are the ones that are going to have very few lands in play anyway, but then Days just hard countering Sinkhole in any phase of the game. Really shitty. Founding the Third Path didn't do anything. Mercurial Spelldancer never really had a chance to shine. But we can't really deny the Delver Dave's Force of Will Wasteland Shell, especially with Orcish Bowmasters involved. Thoughtseizon's cool. Turns out Dimir Tempo is a pretty good deck, whether it has Death Shadow in it, or Troll of Khazad-dûm, or Grief, or how far you are on the scam scale versus just being kind of a Delvery style deck. #1 deck in Legacy right now, and we have a lot of the bones of it. We're just doing some Sinkhole stuff instead of playing all the good cards, and that's fine. We're having fun. But the spots where Founding the Third Path and Sinkhole gummed up my hand, or Mercurial Spelldancer wasn't Orcish Bowmaster, or wasn't an 8/8 Death Shadow, they were felt in this league, and that is just deck building. Sometimes you have to give up card quality to do the fun thing you want to do, and the thing we did was fun. Swaggery, thank you for sharing it with us. Always like to have Sinkhole on the channel. The BoshNRoll Pox fans, sickos, love it too. I'm going to leave this one here. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.